Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be brief. I had to unsubscribe from yet another channel again on YouTube called Miss Sade. It's a black channel that does a lot of cool skits. She's also in league with Kanigra Dion, who I've done a video on, and Big Ja, and a slew of others that are on YouTube that have a lot of good talent and do a lot of good content. But I don't understand why black people have to include interracial dating into their content. If you have a platform where you're a black content creator, I understand that you want to, branch out, but this is the sick obsession that black people have. This is exactly why I don't watch Tyler Perry movies, because Tyler Perry movies always has an interracial agenda in it. And it annoys the fuck out of me. And there's no bigger interracial agenda than that goddamn oval shit that people seem to like. Not everybody, but there are a few out there that do like it. Okay? And I don't understand why we as black people have to continue to cater to the white audience, with interracial dating when it does nothing for us. I swear to God, I miss the old days when I was a young man growing up. And when I say young man, I should say kid growing into a young man, from the 80s, the late 80s into the 90s, and then the 2000s, getting into my 20s, when I would watch actual black movies that had black themes, black actors, and black love in it. It seems somewhere down the line, these, black people that have this particular medium, this platform, I should say, where they can put out content for black audiences, they tend not to do so. And unfortunately, even back in the 70s, some of them are guilty of doing it, because they did interracial shit back then as well. Not as high on the chart as they're doing it now, but there was some back then as well. I don't like seeing any of it at all. I look at a black man and see him with a non-black woman, and I have to shake my head. It does nothing. I don't congratulate him. I don't feel, crazy, cool, like, oh my God, he got a white woman. That's so cool. No, I don't care. And when a black woman is with a white man, I don't like it either. I've already given you numerous examples of how when black men and black women get with these people outside their race, especially the people who have, done nothing but systematically oppress them for many centuries, nothing comes of it. Nothing good comes of it anyway. You got these white girls that were talking about how they don't find black men attractive, but they'll have sex with them, and how black men will smell from the sweat after sex. I guess they didn't check the way that their pussy smells, when they don't clean it, okay? I guess they didn't check that part out. It's just funny to me how there's all these stereotypes are out here, but these are the people out here who didn't even know how to use a goddamn washcloth, yet let alone soap, until we taught them how. And they want to tell you that you stink and this and that. Bullshit, okay? And these are the people who want to tell you that black people are dying of crack and cocaine and heroin, even though we did have people, and still unfortunately have some people in the community that do use it. These are the people that use it more than ever. They were going into black hoods to get this stuff, okay? Even though they had people that put it in the hood to begin with. They were going in the hood, okay, to get their shit, get high, and then come back home. And then we're not talking about junkies. Well, they became junkies, but we're talking about white people who came from good homes, if you want to call it good homes, that got a lot of money, and still they weren't happy enough. They had to get a high. Okay? I'm sick of black people looking stupid when it comes to this shit. There's always going to be black people out there that have opposition to black love. They have opposition to the very love, to the very concept that created their asses out here in the first place. I've said it before. I will say it again and again and again and again and again. You came from a black woman and a black man, okay? A black woman and a black man are how your ass is out here walking right now, is how you exist right now. Of course, the creator first and foremost, but the creator created your father and mother, and your father and mother created you. And you telling me black love is struggle love, black love ain't no good. Fuck you. I tell you what's not no good. Your interracial dating is no good. It's a failure, and it always has been a failure. Because a lot of you want to use it as an excuse to say, oh, well, they're with me, no racism exists anymore. All of a sudden, racism doesn't exist for you. It doesn't exist for anybody else. It still does. It has never stopped just because a black woman and a white man or a black man and a white woman have gotten together. It's still here. So how does it end racism when racism is still here and it's worse than it's ever been? Especially now that we can expose it with cameras and the technology we have in this age. Nothing gets past now. But you still want to cape for it. Black women literally out here celebrating other black women in relationships with white men. Celebrating these relationships. Black men out here talking about how great it is to be with a non-black female, especially a white female. And there'll be white females out here that will have a black child and they can't stand that black child. That child is a female because they can't stand black females, period. You even have white men talking badly about black women. Talking about how it's so easy to get a black woman because all you got to do is be a white man and say some very nice things to them, compliment them, and all of a sudden they'll be eating out of the palm of your hand. And you ain't lying because there's some black women out here that are so goddamn weak and desperate for a white man that they will fall for this shit. It's true. You can say, no, you can dislike me, whatever. It's true. It's true. We've already seen evidence of it. Then we have the people who self-hate. They hate the color of their skin. They'll be with the men and the women of those communities because they hate themselves and they hate the people in their community. I just showed you an example with that woman that's married to the white supremacist of the Hawaii chapter of the Proud Boys. She knows exactly what he's doing. She knows that he's a racist and he hates black people and he feels superior to anyone who is not white, okay? He feels that white is superior to everyone else on this planet, and she still stayed with him and had a child with him, and they're going to raise that child to be hateful because you see they had the Trump signs up, and he's a member, well, he has members because he's a leader of the Proud Boys who target black people specifically for violence. You think that I'm talking out of my ass here, that I'm a hateful person because I don't agree with interracial dating? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You ain't never gonna hear me change my mind. You ain't never gonna hear me change my tune. Interracial dating does nothing, and I'm always gonna talk against it. And you know why? Because I can. You got channels out here dedicated to black women being with every other man on this planet than black, and black men talking about being with every other woman who ain't black. Okay? When those channels go and die down, that's when I'll stop. So I guess I ain't stopping no time soon. And I got other channels as backup, and if I have to build my audience up again, then so be it. Anybody out here, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it over, and say it over again. You're black and you're telling your people not to be with each other, you're a fucking fool. If you're black and you're telling people that just because you're black, you shouldn't love each other, then you're a fucking fool. If you're black and you think that white people are going to save you from oppression, you're a fucking fool. If you're black and you're in an interracial relationship and have a child with someone of that community in the so-called dominant society, which they're not dominant at all, okay? And you think that's going to end racism, you're a fucking fool. It doesn't end shit. I'm not a hateful man. I don't hate nobody. I hate evil. I hate evil, but I don't hate people. I don't like swirlers. I don't like bedbugs. I have no respect for them. You'll never see me shake their hand. You'll never see me give them a hug. And if I know anybody in my family that's friends with them, okay, don't expect me to come over to any family dinners or anything when you bring that person and their significant other with them. I won't be there. I'm one of the few people that actually live by what the fuck I say. You don't have, the camera's not on me, you can't see what I'm doing 24/7, but I live this shit. I had to unsubscribe from Miss Sade, who I think is great, good looking black chocolate woman, but when you have content that is promoting interracial dating, even if it's just one goddamn skit, one is all it takes. It took one interracial relationship in The Walking Dead for me to leave. There have been numerous television shows that I have stopped watching that I like because they put interracial dating in it. I cannot do it. I'm not gonna. I'm not watching a black woman go into the arms of a white man. I'm not gonna watch a black man make a fool of himself over a white woman. I cannot do it. But if you have a show that has black love in it, that has representation of the black family, then of course you're going to get me to watch. Because the representation of the black family is very important. And we don't have many shows that do that any longer like we did back in the day. Family Matters, okay? And countless others. Cosby Show, okay? Say what you want about Cosby. We don't have that representation anymore. People like Tyler Perry and these other people out here, they're not showing it.